Welcome to the Sea Level Rise Explorer. It's great to have you here. My name is Gary Griggs, and I'm a coastal geologist and a professor at the University of California, Santa Cruz, and I'm going to guide you through this experience. This app was developed to illustrate the possible impacts of climate change on coastal communities and also potential solutions. Click this screen to begin. If this is your first time in this experience, select the option I am new here below to run the guided experience. Take a look around to get used to the space and then click this screen to continue. You'll see flashing targets periodically. Click on them to explore and learn about the ways climate change will impact our local coastline. Click on the flashing target, drag the slider, and release it on the other end. The burning of coal, oil, and natural gas all produce greenhouse gas that forms a blanket around the Earth. This blanket traps heat, causing global temperatures to rise, which can intensify severe weather patterns, but also cause glaciers and ice sheets to melt, seawater to expand, which both raise sea levels. These changes will create major disruptions for our planet and impact coastal communities in many ways. The city of Santa Cruz is an active and vibrant community where residents and tourists use the beaches and bluffs for a variety of recreational activities. Santa Cruz will experience rising sea levels and possibly increased coastal storms, causing more frequent and intense coastal flooding and beach and bluff erosion. Future sea level rise will gradually impact private property, public infrastructure and safety, as well as jobs, surfing, and coastal access in Santa Cruz. Here's the Santa Cruz Wharf, visited by nearly 2 million people each year. We're going to take a look at 3 key Santa Cruz destinations. Go ahead and select Cowles Beach. Cowles Beach is one of the most popular in Santa Cruz. On your left is the Dream Inn, and on your right is the base of the wharf. You can use your remote to select the circle on the left side of the scale in front of you and drag it slowly to your right. See that water filling in? The king tides, the highest tides of the year in the winter of 2019, brought the water line almost to the street. When you drag the circle all the way to the right, you will see a projection of the combination of 2.4 feet of sea level rise with an extreme storm. While we are uncertain when sea level rise will reach 2.4 feet, it is expected to come well before the end of the century. Let's head over to Mitchell's Cove now. See the target flashing on your left. Click there. Mitchell's Cove is about a mile up the coast from Cowles Beach and situated below 30-foot-high bluffs and adjacent to the scenic West Cliff Drive. These bluffs have experienced erosion over time, and the city has placed boulders or riprap along their base for protection from storm surges and wave action. As you pull the circle across the scale, you can watch projected sea level rise up against the cliffs. With sea level rise, this beautiful section of coastline will erode, altering the coastline, the pedestrian path and roadway, and eventually the neighborhood. Click Projected Coastal Erosion with your remote. By the year 2100, one scenario indicates coastal erosion on the conservative side could be where the pink line falls. The yellow line indicates a more extreme erosion scenario. So what might the city do? Click on Coastal Adaptation and look closely to see the rock armoring disappearing. To slow erosion along this part of West Cliff, the city can consider multiple solutions. In this option, the city would repair the existing rock armoring in the short term and could potentially construct a seawall that mimics coastal features as a medium-term solution. The seawall would slow erosion and maintain the recreational pathway for pedestrians and cyclists. But since the beach will not be able to move back due to the seawall as sea level gradually rises, eventually the beach or portions of it will be lost, reducing the space for public use. To what extent do you agree with the following statement related to coastal management for Mitchell's Cove? Adding a seawall as a near-term solution for Mitchell's Cove is the best approach for Santa Cruz and the community. Click below to provide your answer and hit submit. Thank you. Now let's take a look at Main Beach. There's Main Beach, and behind it the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. You can also see the San Lorenzo River and the Beach Flats neighborhood behind the amusement park. Drag the circle to the right and see what would happen to these areas under 2.4 feet of sea level rise combined with an extreme storm. Beach Street, which runs in front of the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk, could be completely flooded, and the ocean may make its way close to downtown. Can you imagine wading through the streets with water up to your knees? Have you ever been in a blimp or a dirigible before? Click the target on your lower left to get an aerial view of Main Beach. Welcome to the Virtual Planet Blimp. You're floating high above Main Beach. Now take a moment to look around and get your bearings. Use the slider to see the 2019 king tides and what the projected flooding could look like. So what can be done at Main Beach? When you're ready, click on Solutions. City of Santa Cruz is looking into short to medium and long-term adaptation solutions to manage climate risks and sea level along our coastline. Click on short-term to visualize one of these. One possible short-term adaptation option to slow erosion and buffer Main Beach against coastal storm flooding would be to construct a living shoreline. Living shorelines use native vegetation to stabilize the shoreline, reduce erosion, and enhance coastal resources as shown here. Now click on mid to long term. One potential medium to long-term solution would be to raise the concrete seawall that separates the beach from the boardwalk and Beach Street to protect infrastructure against future flood damage. Because the beach would not be able to erode back with the shoreline as sea level rises due to the seawall, however, this option may result in a narrowing of the beach and eventually Main Beach would be lost. When you're ready, click the Home button to return to the beach house. To what degree do you agree with the following statement regarding coastal management for Main Beach? Adding more sand and vegetated dunes in the near term and adding a higher seawall in the long term is the best plan for the area. Rate how your awareness of sea level rise has changed as a result of this experience. Thank you for using Virtual Planet Sea Level Rise Explorer, Santa Cruz. To learn more about the Resilient Coast Santa Cruz initiative, future events, and ways for you to be part of the solutions, visit www.cityofsantacruz.com/resilientcoast.